The wind howled down Maple Street like a beast in mourning, tossing flurries of snow across the sidewalks and piling them into white walls against fences and porches. It was the kind of morning most people stayed inside, clutching mugs of cocoa and watching the world freeze from behind double-glazed windows. But not 14-year-old Jamie Carter. With his thin jacket zipped to the top, a second-hand shovel in hand, and the determination of someone far older, he trudged into the snowstorm. He wasn't looking for adventure. He was looking for warmth, for his mother's smile to return, for the electricity bill to be paid, for some way to lift even a little of the weight she carried silently every day since his dad died in an accident 2 years ago. They didn't talk about the struggle, but it was everywhere, in the pantry with bare shelves, in the dark corners of the house when the lights flickered, and in the silence where laughter used to live. So Jamie did what he could. He shoveled driveways. Every winter morning, before school, and every weekend until his hands blistered. He asked for little, whatever people could give. A few dollars, a hot cocoa, sometimes just a thank you. But that morning, as the snow fell thick and fast, he passed the house at the corner, the one that everyone said was haunted by time and loneliness. It was an old, creaky Victorian-style house with faded green shutters and a porch that sagged like it was tired of standing. Most kids crossed the street when they got near it. The woman who lived there, Mrs. Eleanor Winters, was rarely seen, but rumors filled the gaps. Some said she was a former opera singer who went mad after her husband died. Others whispered she never left because she was waiting for a lost son who'd never return. But Jamie didn't listen to stories. He saw the driveway thick with snow, the porch steps buried, the mailbox inaccessible. Without thinking twice, he stepped onto her walkway and started shoveling. Every scoop of snow was a small battle. The wind clawed at his face, ice numbed his fingers, but he kept going. It wasn't about money, it was about doing what felt right. He didn't expect anyone to notice. He didn't expect the door to creak open. "Young man," a voice rasped. Jamie turned, startled. Standing on the porch, wrapped in a thick shawl, was Eleanor Winters herself. Her hair was silver and fell in loose waves around her shoulders, her face lined but dignified. Her eyes, a piercing blue, watched him closely, not with suspicion, but something else. Curiosity. Sadness. "I didn't ask you to do this," she said. Jamie dropped his shovel. "I know, ma'am. I figured you might need help." She didn't smile, but something softened in her expression. "Most people forget I'm still here." Jamie shrugged, unsure what to say. She paused, then slowly turned and went back inside, the door clicking shut behind her. Jamie finished the job anyway. The next morning, he returned. Not for payment, but because it snowed again. This time, when he finished, a thermos of hot soup waited for him on the porch. No note. Just kindness. And so it went. Day after day, Jamie returned. Eleanor never said much, but she started to come out and watch him, sometimes sitting on the porch with a blanket over her knees. They talked, about the weather, about her garden that once bloomed beautifully, about music and history. She told him she had no children, only memories, and that most of her friends were gone. Jamie listened. He didn't have answers, but he gave her something she hadn't had in years, company. Weeks passed. Winter deepened. And then, one morning, Eleanor wasn't at the window. No soup. No voice calling out. Jamie knocked. No answer. He called the police, afraid something had happened. She had collapsed in her living room, dehydrated and weak. The doctor said if Jamie hadn't checked in when he did, she might not have made it. When she came home from the hospital, Jamie helped again. Shoveling, yes, but also bringing groceries, changing light bulbs, listening. He didn't think of it as anything special. It was just what people should do. Spring came. Then summer. The snow melted, but Jamie still visited. Eleanor, now walking slowly with a cane, began sitting outside more often. Neighbors noticed. The woman they had forgotten became part of the street again, all because of a boy with a shovel and a kind heart. Then, on the day Jamie turned 15, Eleanor handed him a letter in a pale blue envelope. "I'm old," she said. "I've lived long enough. But you, Jamie, you have a life ahead of you. I want to help you walk into it without fear. He opened the envelope with trembling hands. Inside was the deed to her house. She had no family to leave it to, only him. And more than that, she had set up a trust fund from her savings for his education, to ensure he could go to college and chase the future he deserved. Jamie wept. Not because of the money, or the house, but because for the first time in a long while, someone believed in him. The story spread across town, and beyond. News stations picked it up. "Teen boy's kindness changes his life forever," the headlines read. But the real change was deeper. Eleanor had given Jamie more than a home, she had given him proof that even small acts of kindness could echo forever. Today, Jamie is a social worker, running a nonprofit that provides home assistance to the elderly. And on every winter morning, he still shovels Eleanor's old walkway, even though she's long gone. Because he knows now, a simple act, like shoveling snow, can thaw even the coldest hearts, and sometimes, in return, you're gifted more than you ever dared to dream.